Hello guys and welcome back to Red Hot TV. APC seeks disqualification over Obaseki and deputy over forged certificates. The All Progressives Congress (APC) is seeking the disqualification of the governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, and his deputy, Mr. Philip Shaibu, from the upcoming gubernatorial poll over falsified academic qualifications and tax fraud. The details are contained in court documents filed at the Federal High Court in Benin by West Daosa and Co. The suit, filed by the All Progressives Congress and Mr. Edobo Williams, a member of the party, highlights a number of inconsistencies in academic credentials provided to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) by the duo of Mr. Godwin Obaseki and Mr. Philip Shaibu, both candidates of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the Edo governorship election scheduled to hold in September. Recall that Mr. Obaseki and Mr. Shaibu had previously been elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, but recently decamped to the People's Democratic Party after Obaseki was disqualified over inconsistencies in his academic credentials during the APC's pre-primary screening process. The APC alleged that Mr. Obaseki, who claims to have graduated from the University of Ibadan, did not meet the minimum entry requirements for gaining admission into the university, as he had only 3 credits and 2 passes in the school's certificate results purportedly issued to him by the West African Examinations Council (WAEC). He also did not attach any evidence of having attended primary school. Documents further show that in Form Ize-Iyamu, which was submitted to INEC, Mr. Obaseki represented himself as having gained admission into the University of Ibadan on the strength of the results issued by WAEC, as he did not list any other O-level certificate. He also submitted a testimonial from the Institute of Continuing Education in Benin City, showing that he sat for A-level examinations in History, English, Literature, Economics, and General Paper in May-June 1975. That is, however, at variance with the A-level certificate, which he also submitted, and which showed that he obtained grades in Religious Studies, Government, and Economics. It is also worthy of note that in 2016, when Mr. Obaseki deposed to an affidavit claiming that he had lost his original primary, secondary, university, and National Youth Service Corps certificates, he stated that he had obtained a Bachelor of Arts in Classical Studies from the University of Ibadan in 1976 and provided a photocopy of his certificate to that effect. This, however, raises even more questions, as in the INEC Form EC9, which was filled in June 2020. He stated that this same qualification was obtained in 1979 with a completely different certificate attached. Photocopy from 2016 bears the signature of the Vice Chancellor and the Registrar, while the certificate submitted in 2020 is undated and bears only the signature of the Vice Chancellor of the university, an unusual occurrence in the academia. The Vice Chancellor whose signature is featured on the certificate is Professor Takena Tamuno, who held the position from 1975 to 1979, but could not possibly have appended his signature to the new certificate as he died in April 2015. Mr. Philip Shaibu, on the other hand, who is on a joint ticket with Mr. Obaseki, seems to be in even more dire straits. In addition to being accused of providing falsified certificates and obtaining educational qualifications through fraudulent means, there is also an outstanding allegation of tax fraud dating back to over a decade. Academic qualifications listed by Mr. Shaibu include a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Jos, a notification of higher degree examination result from the University of Benin, and a senior secondary school testimonial from Sarduana Memorial College, Kaduna. The APC, however, argues that Mr. Shaibu fraudulently obtained his bachelor's and master's degree from the University of Jos and the University of Benin respectively, as he did not attain the minimum requirements for gaining admission into the university, having recorded credits and above in only 2 subjects in 2 separate results issued by the West African Examinations Council (WAEC) in 1989 and 1997 respectively. The party also pointed out discrepancies in both certificates. The WAEC result from 1989 is for a Shuaibu Philip, contrary to his name on official and public records, which is Philip Shaibu. To further validate doubts about his WAEC result, the name on the second certificate is Shiabu Philip. Mr. Shaibu, while applying to the School of Postgraduate Studies at the University of Benin, also listed grades obtained from a WAEC exam, which he supposedly sat for in 1993. A record of this does not exist. The APC alleged that in order to circumvent these uncomfortable truths, Mr. Shaibu provided only his secondary school testimonial, a statement of degree program from the University of Jos, and a notification of higher degree from the University of Benin. However, these also suffice as evidence that he obtained qualifications which he did not, in fact, meet the requirements for. Then tax fraud. Documents show that sometime between December 15 and 20, 2006, Mr. Shaibu attached a fraudulent tax clearance certificate to INEC Form CF001 while he was running for his seat in the Edo State House of Assembly. He claimed to be a staff of Zaknot Ventures Nigeria Limited, and this led to the managing director of the company, Mr. Zakari Ayonote, lodging a complaint against him with law enforcement agents. Mr. Shaibu was subsequently charged to the Benin City High Court in case B/ICPC/1/13 by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) for giving false information to officers of the Edo State Internal Revenue Service. The case was pending until 2016 when Mr. Shaibu became deputy governor, and the case was eventually struck out due to constitutional immunity which the office conferred on him. The APC is thus seeking the disqualification of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) from the upcoming polls and the disqualification of both Mr. Obaseki and Mr. Shaibu for providing forged certificates to INEC in line with provisions of Section 182 sub 1 sub J of the Constitution. The party further seeks to ensure that all votes cast for the PDP at the polls will be declared null and void, and that INEC removes the names of Mr. Obaseki and Mr. Shaibu from the list of approved candidates for the Edo election, and that the PDP is prevented from embarking on any campaign activity. Wow, what a news. However, a lot of people have reacted as usual to these comments, so we're going to take few comments. My boy said politics is the gentle art of getting votes from the poor and campaign funds from the rich by promising to protect each from the other. Okay, moderated said exercise in futility. Meanwhile, APC has no candidates for the Edo 2020 election. Okay, Trump card said a complete waste of time. They possess the necessary minimum qualifications as prescribed by law. Everything else are mere sensational allegations to play to the gallery. I see these people are so desperate, and their desperation is making them clutch at straws that will not help to stop the impending crush coming their way. We know one thief and self-confessed cultist as governor for Edo State, Abina by force. Okay. Load balancer said they should quickly come up with another strategy. This one might not work. Okay, Chinjo said the same Obaseki that was a governor under the APC. Now, wow, politics, sha. Okay, that's quite true. Aboaza said same party whose president and national leader don't have certificates, but he ruled under APC, and they didn't care to say this all the while. Politics. I'm just shaking my head. Okay. Isgo said they better go and face the election and stop looking for flimsy shortcut disqualifications. Okay, Random said, I don't understand why exactly these people do not want this man to compete in the forthcoming elections. Are they scared he will win? Okay, that's a very good question. Rather, guys, what do you have to say concerning this? You can drop your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like. Thank you.